Unfortunately, the title and the thumbnail of this video are not clickbait. Nintendo actually might be banning my account, and maybe your account too. Who knows? It depends on if you're doing the same things that I'm doing. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about some other things in this video. As I said last week, we're gonna try to do this weekly news thing. I don't know what to call it. If you guys have any ideas of what I could call this, it does need a name. So if you can think of anything, leave that in the comments. But we've got that and two other things that I want to go over this week. The first thing I want to talk about is something we actually talked about last week. Now, Jeff Grubb was out here saying that we could be seeing some new Zelda coming to the Switch in some way, shape, or form. Didn't really want to say what. We said last week we thought it was going to be the Legos. We also thought it was going to be later in the year. We just got two Zelda games dropped on the Switch. We just got Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy, so you can actually go play those now. If you have the Nintendo Online, you don't even need the expansion pack. You can play those Zelda games right now. They are Game Boy Color games, so this is definitely, it's good. It's good. It's more Zelda on the Switch. We all love Zelda. Maybe this isn't exactly what we wanted, but he did say he didn't want to get anybody's hopes up, and I went over to his Twitter, to Jeff Grubb's Twitter account to see what he was saying about all this stuff, and he basically was saying, yeah, this might be it. He didn't know exactly what it was, so he said this might be it, but at the same time, we also kind of already knew these were coming, so there still could be something else. So just because we have seen these games come to the Switch doesn't mean that's the only Zelda thing. Now, we talked about this last week. If you want to hear what we said about that, you go back and watch that video. I'll link it at the end. But I mean, it could be anything. It could be Legos, it could be games, it could be, who knows? They could be announcing Zelda Land at Universal Studios. Who really knows? But we do have two new Zelda games on the Switch. So if those are two you haven't played, or maybe you just have fond memories of them, go play them. I'm actually probably going to I'm gonna go play through both of those. Those are two that I have not played, and I'm looking forward to actually getting all the way through them. All right, the next thing we definitely have to talk about, of course, Switch 2 rumors. These ones I do really like. I'm really happy about these ones because it does give us some kind of idea of when we could actually see this thing. Now I'm gonna explain this whole thing to you. I'm gonna tell you about this leak, but the cool part about all of this is it looks like this is going to get us a new Switch, a Switch 2, sometime the beginning of next year. So early 2024. This looks like something that is pretty credible. Now it comes from, we talked about them on the podcast, I think 2 weeks ago, moneydj.com or something like that. I'll find it and put it down in the links. But we did talk about that on the podcast because they were talking about metal chassis that someone was going to be making, maybe for the Switch 2. It could have been for something else. We don't really know. But they've come back with another report. They are hearing from a company called PixArt. Now, PixArt has worked with Nintendo several times. They do stuff with IR sensors. So they did the IR sensor stuff on the Wii U stuff, the Switch. The Switch does have an IR sensor. And it sounds like they are going to be ramping up and having a big end of year because they're going to be manufacturing something for a gaming company. They said it was for a gaming company who hasn't put something out in quite a long time. The Switch came out, 7 years ago? I don't know anybody else who's using IR sensors in their stuff. Sony doesn't use IR sensors. Microsoft doesn't use IR sensors, and none of these other handheld PCs, to my knowledge, now correct me if I'm wrong, but none of the other ones use IR sensors. So it's basically gotta be Nintendo. And they say they're gonna be working on this stuff for a 2024 Q1 release. That sounds like we're gonna be getting the Switch very early next year. Now, it could be something else. This could be something else. I'm not saying this is 100% fact. It could be something else. It's probably not. It sounds like it's the Switch 2, but I mean, this is getting exciting. It's getting exciting because we are actually starting to hear things like this that aren't just some BS rumor that somebody found on Reddit. You know, this is coming from credible sources, actual places who deal with manufacturing. You know, I mean, I think the next thing we're gonna see is something leaked from a factory. I think it's gonna be happening soon. I mean, let's think about this. If the Switch 2 is coming early 2024, when would they announce that? I mean, they would probably have to do that soon. What are we in? We're in July. It's basically August, September, October. Maybe November, that seems a little late. September or October, I mean, we should be hearing about this thing, and they're gonna be building these already, so I would not be surprised if we really start seeing some crazy leaks start happening now, because this is probably gonna heat up quickly. Okay, the last thing we need to talk about, this one's kind of scary. Honestly, it really is. My account, honestly, could get banned. Yours could get banned too. If you're doing these things, Nintendo has put out some new rules. I have them right here. We're gonna read them, but the very last one I'm gonna read to you is the one that we might have some serious problems with, especially in this house. We're gonna have some issues. I don't know how they're gonna enforce this or how they're gonna do this, but we'll get into this. Okay, so some things you're not allowed to do with your Nintendo Switch account. Okay, selling unusable download codes or download codes acquired through unauthorized or illegal means. So that's, pretty straightforward there. Transferring Nintendo account information to a third party as part of an unauthorized financial transaction. So you can't do that. You can't be selling account information. Okay, the other bannable offenses, if you sell or purchase a Nintendo account that has purchased digital games. So if you have an account that has a bunch of games on it and you want to sell that account to somebody else to use, you're not allowed to do that. That's fine. I get that. Okay, you can't sell somebody an account. Whatever. Transferring Nintendo account information to a third party for the purpose of modifying save data, playing on one's behalf, or other requests. Okay, so that's whatever. You can't cheat, you can't manipulate save data. That's fine. This is the one. This is the one that I have a very big problem with. Sharing paid software with others through the use of the same Nintendo account. Now they're saying that is a bannable offense. If you are sharing your games with other people, if you are letting them play your games, your account can be banned. Now, I want to get into this a little bit here. You probably know, if you watch this channel, I've done a few videos on how to share digital games on the Nintendo Switch, because they don't make it easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but if you're all digital like I am, it's hard for my kids to be able to play that too. It's fine to share them if they're physical, but not digital. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I've made videos on how to do game sharing. The way we do it is I have my Nintendo account on my kids' Nintendo Switch consoles. When they want to play one of the games that's mine, they have to go to my account, which I have signed in on their Switch. Once they are playing, they can put it in airplane mode, and then if, the other one wants to play the same game or a different game from my account, then they can also play, because it checks the internet, it can't see the other one playing. That's how this works. That's how we've been doing it. It's been working great. It's been much less of a headache than the other ways we were trying to do it. If you are interested in how to do that, I do have a video on that. I'll show you at the end, but I mean, just a warning, you might get banned for it. Your account might be banned for that now. And I just don't understand this. I really do not understand how, one, they're even gonna enforce this. I don't even see how this is an enforceable thing. Do they know? Do they know it's somebody else on a different Switch? I mean, I have had multiple Switch units myself. Back when I used a Switch Lite, I left my other Switch in the dock and played my Switch Lite everywhere else. Before I started streaming, I barely even used my regular Switch. I used a Switch Lite almost exclusively. I mean, obviously, with the OLED screen now, that's totally different. But what if it was just me? What if it was me going from Switch to Switch and then they just banned my account because they thought I was sharing it? Are we not allowed to own more than one Switch now? Because I thought that was like the whole point of them doing what they're doing, is trying to get multiple Switches in homes. I'm pretty sure they've talked about that several times. To investors, they've talked about it a lot. So now you're telling me that I'm not allowed to let my kids play my Mario Kart. I have to buy it again digitally, or I have to buy it a physical copy again. This is the part I don't understand. One, how they're gonna enforce it, and why is it okay if I go buy a physical version of Mario Kart and then I play that game in my Switch, and then if my daughter wants to play that game, I can give that to her and then she can play it. It's still the same thing, but that's okay. But just because it's tied to my account, it's digital, it's not okay. I really don't understand how that is okay, or how they're gonna get away with even doing this to somebody. Because if my account were to get banned right now, all your games are attached to your account. I would lose everything. It's not an easy thing to get a hold of Nintendo and have something like that reversed. If it happens, that's gonna be really bad. So I don't see how that is something that they can enforce. How they're going to justify saying, no, this person bought the piece of plastic, so they're allowed to do it, but you bought it digital and you're not. So I don't understand that. I don't like it, but listen, if you're doing this, do it at your own risk. Again, I'm gonna link a video at the end right here where you can check out how to do it, but make sure if you're doing this, you know what the consequences could be. I mean, I'm probably gonna continue to do it. I don't know. I'm not buying 3 copies of Mario Kart. I'm not buying 3 copies of Mario Odyssey. I'm not. But guys, let me know what you think about all this stuff down in the comments. Are you gonna play the new Zelda games on the Switch? Do you think the Switch 2 is actually going to be coming out early next year? I think with these reports, I think it's pretty safe. Let me know what you think about that. And let me know how you do your digital games. Do you share them like I do? Have you seen those videos already? The one you're probably looking at right here. Have you seen that already? You should check it out if you haven't. You should click on it right now. Even if you have, you should just click on it right now. Watch it again. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. See you in the next one.